Welcome into another video in my series where we're going through and testing all the weapons inside of MW3 to see how viable these weapons are for us to be using within our Zombies game mode. This is going to include the aftermarket parts, the aftermarket conversion kits, as well as the MW2 weapons. So if you're new around here and you like everything Call of Duty, make sure you are subscribed with those bell notifications turned on so you're not going to miss out any future uploads from myself. As well, down below in the description you will find the link for my streams. I stream on Mondays and Thursdays, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I stream everything from MW3 to custom zombies and have a ton of fun over there and would love to see you all come and hang out. Now before we dive into today's review video, I just wanted to touch base. Since we have crossed the 4,000 subscriber mark, that has unlocked our third Black Ops 6 Standard Edition giveaway. And the winner I have selected is Happy Kush Bush, who has yet to get in contact with me. So I'm thinking at this point, if I haven't heard from you, Happy Kush Bush, by this coming Friday, so a week today, I will be drawing another winner and move on with the Black Ops 6 Standard Edition giveaway for them. So Happy Kush Bush, I hope you've been watching, and make sure you get in touch. Join the Zhordecommunity Discord. The link is down in the description. Make sure you DM me when you get in the Discord so we can sort out your Standard Edition of Black Ops 6 for any platform. Alright, so they do have the new event, Wildlife Most Wanted, which I have completed. So we're going to be checking out the Frogged Out camo on today's run. But let me know how far along you guys are on the Wildlife Most Wanted event, and if you have unlocked the blueprint for the Cast-Off 762. I still think it looks pretty cool. I do wish it was a little bit more animated, to be honest. And then on Wednesday, they updated our weekly challenges, and the weekly challenge for this week unlocks the Torque 35 compound bow. So I've gone ahead and unlocked this compound bow. So in today's video, we're going to have a look at the Torque 35 compound bow. We're going to be taking that through all three tiers, taking on bounty contracts all the way through. So hopefully by the end of today's video, you have a really good feel for how this compound bow performs inside of Zombies. And at the end of it, you should be able to make up your mind on whether or not the Torque 35 compound bow is going to be a viable option for you to be running inside of your Zombies games. So without further ado, let's dive into the compound bow review video today. Alright, welcome into today's video. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate that. And in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the week 5 challenges, the compound bow, and taking a look at this and see how it performs inside of our Zombies games. And we do have the Frogger event camo, and I think it looks really cool. I did not know it was this animated, that it changes a whole ton of colors. So that's super awesome. Definitely going to be looking to keep this camo on this weapon for the run today. Now, if you're new to my channel, when I do the weapon testing videos here, I spawn in and put on all of my perks with absolutely no additions to the weapon to make it any stronger whatsoever. The only addition I do run that does a little bit of extra damage is, as a mouse and keyboard player, I do run Deadshot Daiquiri for the extra critical damage that it does provide. Now, we go and grab our first bounty contract of the day, which was a Mangler inside of Tier 1, and we're going to be taking this on at White Rarity, and it definitely was doing some substantial damage when you're able to hit the critical shots with this compound bow. I was pretty impressed with it. So we'll let you see how it handles the Mangler during this fight. And at this point, I want to take a moment and just say to each and every one of you, thank you so much for all the support. If you're looking for guides to complete the brand new Final Story Mission, I have those. The link for that is going to be down in the description and on screen. As well, there's also a guide I have completed for if you're looking to open up the new Season 5 Reloaded Dark Aether, and you're wondering on how to get that open. I have a guide put up for that, and again, that is down in the description, and you'll see it on screen as well. Now, the only thing I had an issue with this bounty contract inside of Tier 1 was I was running out of ammo a couple times because before I pack a punch it, of course, the ammo count is not as high. I definitely noticed that using the blast cap arrowheads, the ammo count was a lot lower than just a standard arrow. The standard arrow, when pack-a-punched, you have 120. This one, pack-a-punched, I believe it is just 49. So the ammo count was a little bit lower with the blast caps, but definitely a lot more damage, I felt. So it's time to visit the pack-a-punch machine and make sure you melee the machine before using it, or a pack-a-punch crystal, so that you can keep your camo blueprint on your weapon for the rest of the run. So now it's time to grab our next bounty contract inside of Tier 1 and head off and see how this compound bow is going to perform, knowing that we have just increased the damage output only by visiting Pack-a-Punch. So I still have no tools, no ammo mods, and only Pack-a-Punch with white rarity, and we went off and picked up our second bounty contract of the day, which was a Mimic, and I could already tell like the damage output was dramatically increased just by visiting Pack-a-Punch. On this compound bow, so definitely really cool. I enjoy the explosive weapons inside of MW3. They are an absolute ton of fun to use. Definitely one of the most viable options I feel for the Unstable Rift and for using in the brand new Season 5 Reloaded Dark Aether, as in my experience that Dark Aether is absolutely just crazy. So at this point I wanted to throw on my Epic tool and my ammo mod and see what we could do with our next bounty contract. So we went and grabbed our bounty contracts. We're now Epic, Pack 1 with an ammo mod on the compound bow. I was out of legendary tools today, which is why we're running Epic. However, this compound bow performs really well, so I felt like running it with Epic would give you all kind of the best feel for how this weapon performs inside of our Zombies game mode, in that they have nerfed the triangles in Tier 3, so restocking on legendary tools and PAP 3 crystals is no longer as simple as rushing into Tier 3 to grab a triangle or two and get yourself you know, re-upped that way. So in Tier 3, the triangles, if you don't know, they have been nerfed. So if you do a triangle in Tier 3, the ones that used to give you a legendary tool and a PAP 3 crystal, they now give you a random tool and a random PAP crystal. So just be wary if you're going in to do that. So now we went and picked up our final bounty contract of the day inside of Tier 1, and we got a Disciple, and we're taking this one on at Epic Pack 1 with Shatterblast, and I could already tell the critical damage on this compound bow was substantial. Hitting the critical shots with the explosive smoke on the Disciples was something I was struggling with. I felt like if I had depth perception right here so I could see the outline of the Disciple in the smoke cloud, that would definitely have made this fight a lot easier. So maybe if you're using explosive stuff inside of MW3 Zombies, maybe try and run depth perception so you can see through your smoke cloud to see the enemy outline so you know where to shoot. As that was definitely something I was feeling during the fight with this Disciple, was just having to struggle trying to, you know, see where that head was to get the critical shots because of the blast cap explosion, putting smoke into the air. But as far as damage goes, I mean, I definitely feel like this compound bow dishes out a pretty decent damage. Oh, my mistake. We're not taking on a bounty inside of Tier 1. This is in Tier 2. I am bad. Sorry. But here we are with the bounty in Tier 2. Only Pack 1, Epic, inside of Tier 2. And it was handling the Disciple fairly well. Definitely we're dishing out a bunch of damage on the critical shots I could see. Again, Disciples with their healing ability and how the blast caps take a second to reload can make the Disciple fight a little bit stronger, as it takes a couple seconds for your blast cap to go off to stop his healing effect. So that is something I noticed when dealing with the Disciple fight, and it's something that extended this fight a little bit more than I felt like the weapon damage has. Like it shoots pretty strong. It's got some decent damage at Pack 1, Epic, inside of Tier 2, so it's definitely stronger, but I felt like with the delay on the blast caps, you can see how long it takes to take out the heal effect. So he's able to drain and regain some health every time he does that to me, which was a bit of a struggle. But we did finish him off right there, completely out of ammo at the end, which was kind of funny. But we finished him off, and then it was off to visit Pack-a-Punch inside of Tier 2 to increase the damage output on this compound bow, grab ourselves another bounty contract inside of Tier 2, and see how it performs. Now, on my way to the bounty contract, I got a notification that a player was down in the area. Now, I didn't bother to check the TAC map, but just by looking and seeing that an entire squad had gone down in this area, I already knew that Legacy was here and they were trying to fight Legacy. So I rushed in to revive them and get them, through the Legacy fight, which can be a bit of a struggle if there's some newer players. I feel like there's definitely a lot more players in here that haven't completed stuff since it came out on Game Pass. So I was happy to jump in and kind of help clear out the Legacy Fortress for these players and get them all back up so that they could get back into the fight and complete the Legacy Fortress. I was trying to get him to crawl in here because the mercs were just firing like crazy. I was like, hey, buddy, come on, move closer so that I can get you up. So he finally came in. I was able to get him up, and then I provided cover while he was able to revive his teammate. We still had one more player to revive, which was outside of the Legacy Fortress, and he was getting bombarded by the mercs and the attack chopper that have been called in. And you can see just the sheer number of mercs in the area. Like, this was probably poor time to head up to Legacy, as they had already started the fight and been down for a minute. So a lot of the reinforcements had been called in the area. There was just a lot of mercs here at the Legacy Fortress. But this compound bow, I wanted to show you a lot of the footage of me getting through Legacy and helping this team get up and get you know, all of them up and out of there for Legacy, because I was feeling super confident using this compound bow at the Legacy Fortress, being only pack 1 epic inside of tier 2. I was really impressed with just how much damage it was able to dish out to the mercs and all of the just congestion that was here. It was awesome to see. I really wasn't feeling too concerned as far as dealing with damage with the mercs. Like, I knew a couple shots in, they're going to get him out. So we got the entire team back up and good to go. I saw that they were all up and in the fight again, so it was time to get my way out of here and make my way off to Pack-a-Punch tier 2, increase the damage output on our compound bow. And right before I got to Pack-a-Punch 2, I got notification that another player was down in the area. So we made a beeline over to the player, got them back up on their feet, and made sure they were good to go. So Medic Z is at, I think we're at about 4 or 5 revives so far in this video. So let me know in the comment section just how many revives do I manage to complete in this entire video. So make sure you're watching all the way through, as if Happy Cushpuss doesn't get in touch with me very soon, I might use the correct number of revives to determine our next Black Ops 6 giveaway. So make sure you watch the video all the way through and let me know how many revives I got inside of this video. So here we are taking on our second bounty contract inside of tier 2. We are now pack 2 epic with Shatter Blast on the compound bow and dealing with a mangler inside of tier 2. And I was feeling really confident using this, like really confident. We're just taking the dishing out the damage and taking the damage the mangler is hitting us, as I knew we were going to be able to finish him off before he was able to get us down. So got him out. Unbelievable loot from that. We got a ray gun and a pap crystal to pack the ray gun. So I decided to grab the ray gun, I decided to pack-a-punch it, and then I was going to hopefully find a player to gift a pack-a-punch ray gun to sometime in this run. Now, seeing how this bow had been performing through the Legacy Fortress, across tier 1, across our bounty contracts inside of tier 2, I was really eager to dive into tier 3 and see how this compound bow is going to perform, being only epic at Pack-a-Punch level 2. I was curious to see how it was going to handle the crowd control inside of tier 3 without it being legendary, without it being pack 3. So we went and stopped in at the Wonder Fizz machine like I always do, grabbed the rest of my perks, so we have all the perks inside of MW3 Zombies. And then it was time to visit the ritual, as I had a feeling they were not going to be taken because they've been nerfed. Now, I wanted to do a ritual just to show you all, you know, the random pap crystal and the random tool that you get. Sorry, pap crystal and, yeah, tool that you get for completing the rituals since they've been nerfed. So far, I've managed to get a pap 3 crystal and a blue tool. I managed to get a blue tool and a pap 1 crystal. I managed to get an epic tool and a pap 2 crystal, and I managed to get a blue tool and a pap 1 crystal. So it has not been the greatest yield so far since they have buffed these rituals in tier 3, which I will be completely honest with you, I was very disappointed to see them do that, and I really don't understand why they felt the need to nerf something like that with just how much stuff and how intense the new Dark Aether is, the new boss fight. I just felt like nerfing this was not the way to go, as it gave us, the community, an opportunity to at least be prepared to run into, you know, the Dark Aethers and stuff. We can go ahead and grab a pap crystal, a legendary tool, and be ready to go. So I just don't agree with the nerf on the rituals. Let me know what you think about this down in the comments below, especially considering this is going to probably be the last update we get for MW3 Zombies until Black Ops 6 drops, which I am super excited for. And that trailer today for Liberty Falls, oh my god, is that truly amazing. I am so hyped to play both maps now on release for Black Ops 6. It's going to be quite the dilemma to choose between the two maps. Now here we are again, we're PAP 2, like I said, epic, inside of tier 3, completing the ritual, and this one I've told you all before is an awesome opportunity for you to see just how viable weapons can be, because everything comes at you in one straight line, so you can see the health bars and the damage that I'm inflicting on the health bars and the zombies with each and every shot. So I definitely love doing this ritual to show you guys all that. I did run really low on ammo, and for some reason the ammo drops from the zombies when I was hitting them with the crossbow weren't actually dropping up here. They dropped down on the ground below. So I was really close to almost out of bullets. I was kind of hoping that, you know, one of the zombies would drop me some ammo so I didn't have to drop down. But I wanted to show you guys, you know, if you're running energy mine, this is how I complete it. So here we are, we're out of ammo on the compound bow. I checked over the edge and noticed that there was the ammo down here, so I thought I would run around and pick up some ammo for my compound bow. And then of course we had a whole bunch of zombies in the area that were from up top, so they funneled their way downstairs. So this was a perfect opportunity to drop an energy mine and get all the zombies to track right through it, and sure enough that completed my ritual right there. So it was nice to see, and that's an awesome way to finish up your ritual if you're running a little low on ammo and you have an energy mine to go. So it was time to go off and check the ritual loot and see what we get from here. So let's find out what we get today. Not bad. I got a PAP 3 crystal and an epic tool. So that was something I was pretty happy to see. So it's time to throw on our PAP 3 crystal and see how this crossbow performs now at max damage, except for legendary. So we're epic, PAP 3 with Shatterblast on this compound bow. So I wanted to see how it performs. I wanted to go and get some crowd control, but before I could get off to rounding up a group for crowd control, there was another player that had gone down inside of tier 3. So we made our way over to the player, got them back up as they were a solo in tier 3. I wasn't sure what they were doing up here, but definitely cleared out the riffraff using the compound bow, which is definitely awesome for that. And then I thought, you know what? Let's gift them our Pack-a-Punched ray gun and see if they were interested in grabbing it. And sure enough, they looked like they hadn't had a ray gun before, or were happy to be able to use one. So we left that player with their ray gun and went off and found ourselves a bounty contract inside of tier 3, because I wanted to see how this weapon would perform and hope that the game would give me a Mega Abomination bounty contract so that I could show you just how well this weapon performs. I mean, keep in mind, we are still epic this entire run. So we're dealing with a Mega Abomination bounty contract here inside of tier 3, being only epic on the compound bow, and it definitely does a ton of damage with the blast cap arrows to Mega Abominations when you're able to get the critical shots in. Again, try and use verticality as much as you can to help your Mega Abomination fire up their laser attack, as you saw me do right there. And then I tried to continue to engage the Mega Abomination by getting them to fire up the laser attack. So right here, I ran up above the Mega Abomination. I was hoping he was going to fire up his laser attack on me because I was now above him, but he was tracking to me and was basically at the same height, so he didn't really bother. So at this point, I was just trying to get our Mega Abomination to fire up a laser attack or open up one of his mouths so I could get some critical damage in. Now, I knew he was about to fire his laser attack at me from behind right here, but I needed ammo, so I just kind of ignored that, got up to the roof to force him to fire up his laser attack using the verticality trick, and sure enough, our Mega Abomination obliged, and he just repeatedly fired up his laser attack in this area. But you can see the critical damage that this compound bow is able to do only at Epic Pack 3 in Tier 3 on a Mega Abomination bounty contract. I feel that this is definitely a viable option to be using inside of our Zombies game modes. Now, there is something I definitely want to add that will make this even stronger and even better to be using, is if you can equip dead wire detonators when using the blast cap arrows on the compound bow, you will have a dramatic more increase to damage output and crowd control. Now, strangely enough, there was no reward rift for completing my bounty contract. This seems to be something I've noticed since the Reloaded update. So let me know if you guys have noticed that on your contracts, that you're not getting a reward rift. And then before we dipped out of the match, we had to go visit Zhorde, the Guardian of the Arches. And somebody had already taken off a chunk of his health. What is going on? You don't damage part of George and then leave him alone? How cruel. Anyway, we had to put George out of his misery, up at the picnic table area where he likes to fire up his laser attack at me like crazy. And we were able to dish out a ton of damage with this blast cap compound bow arrows into the critical shots of Zhorde. And of course, thermites are just super strong against mega abominations. I just wanted to show you that just how strong thermites are. We finish off the mega abomination Zhorde here with a thermite. Right there, he didn't even have his mouth open and still finished him off. So definitely, if you're looking to clear out mega abominations quickly, use thermites and hit them in their mouths when they're open. They do a ton of damage. So overall, I had an absolute blast using this compound bow 35 inside of my zombies game mode. The helicopter was taking off, but not taking off. I was very confused here as to what was going on. But overall, I would definitely say go ahead and complete your week 5 weekly challenges. Unlock the compound bow 35. Give it a run inside of your zombies game mode. Make sure you got dead wire detonators to use with the blast cap arrows, and that will definitely help make this weapon be completely viable for you to be using inside of your game modes, as well as the Dark Aether, as well as the Unstable Rift. So this is what I was using, was the blast cap arrow, and you get ripper arrows, you get blast cap arrows, blaze arrow, caustic arrows, and snapshot arrows. So those are the arrows that you get for it, and the camo that I was using today is called Frogged Out. It is under your events tab, and it is right there, Frogged Out. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll catch you guys in the next one.